Welcome to Hot Takes. Toli,
Thanks for having me.
creator, the reason we're here at Breakpoint. Are you ready for the spicy journey?
Let's do it.
So how it'll work, we have 5 wings, 5 questions. We'll work our way through it, but let's dive into wing 1.
All right.
Toli, rumor has it that you came up with the name for Solana based on Solana Beach, and you may have been surfing when you did it. Is this correct?
Two of the co-founders, like the engineers, we actually were all roommates in Solana Beach
Okay.
at one point, and we would wake up, we would surf, bike to work, bike from work back,
Yeah.
go surfing again, then go play underwater hockey.
Underwater hockey?
This was our life.
Like, how does that work, underwater
You
hockey?
wear fins and snorkel, and you dive, and you hold your breath, and you play in a pool, and you have a stick about this big and a puck with a lead core, and you fling it. It can go about 10 to 15 feet.
No shit.
And we got obsessed with it to the point that 3 of us did an Ironman together just for training. Like, all of us were on the world's team at one point or another.
Wonderful. How you feeling on wing 1? Spicy?
This was pretty good.
All right, that'll be our baseline. I think we can move on to the next one. Now remember, don't touch your eyes.
Yeah.
Because once that happens, you're going to start crying. You're going to get memed. Is economic security a meme?
There's just a lot of things that bother me about economic security. So when people say it, they communicate a totally different idea than I think what like an expert from the Ethereum Foundation would communicates when they say it. So I think it is mostly a meme. And the reason for this is like kind of actually very straightforward. If you have a correctly constructed proof of stake network and you run a full node, you don't really care about any other node on the network. You don't care how big it is, how many nodes there are. None of that stuff matters because you have your own full node and you can validate all the state transitions. And the internet is so well connected that it's actually very hard to partition it reliably. Like you can shut down like AWS East, but you cannot really prevent packets from North America to flow to Asia.
Interesting.
Like it's very hard. There's a lot of paths.
Right.
So that means that if you have a fault in the network, like somebody double votes, you will see that double vote very quickly.
Sure.
So that's what actually provides security even for like double spend attacks, is because there's no P in cap. Kind of these things that where economic security matters is more or less kind of this liveness attack that never happens, meaning that somebody goes, buys a bunch of tokens, the double vote gets detected, they get slashed or the network shuts down. And that's it. Because as soon as you have a large enough portion of the network staked, a percentage, not even in value, the attacker to acquire enough tokens is going to cause the price to spike.
Right.
And then as soon as that attack is detected, either they get slashed automatically because the protocol can do that and it's super well constructed, or the network shuts down and they slash them and restart.
Just to prevent.
And then they have to go acquire the tokens again, and you're effectively like force the price to go up to whatever the economic security level is, no matter what happens.
How you feeling after number 2?
I think the first one actually paved the way, where this one's a little easier.
It set the floor for me. All right, let's roll out number 3. We'll see how that goes. Ooh. It's got some kick.
Yeah.
You may start crying, just as a heads up.
So as a high school teenager, I worked at a wings place.
Okay. That's a fun fact. When I think of development in Solana, there's like 2 factions, right? There's your cohort of software developers pushing the limit of what is possible in the stack, whether it's MCP, validator clients, like really pushing the needle on the software side. On the networking side, there's still, up until or prior to DoubleZero, there was reliance on the public internet. Like, in your vision of what Solana looks like in the future, is the public internet a hindrance or like unable to fulfill the vision you have?
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, we'll redo this. I broke Toli, folks. The cheat is going to go down after this. He's down.
We need to make the software not suck, so the hardware then is the bottleneck. That's actually every software.
It's push and pull, right?
Every software developer's dream is to get to the point where you can just improve hardware, and that's all you need to improve performance.
Yeah.
And that's really hard because it means that you've perfectly laid out all the memory and all the algorithms, so it just magically scales the more throughput you add.
Sure.
A bunch of work is being done on the client side, like XDP and all these things
Sure.
to really like optimize that. But what we don't have control over is there's a whole bunch of switches between all the nodes that have these massive buffers because they're optimized for 15-second delay video.
Yeah.
Like, or serving HTML or something like that. Like that, they're just not built for like low latency, financially important information.
Yeah.
The other thing, I mean, like, I think is just the public internet can't do like simple things like multicast and stuff like this, which is a massive optimization that is incredibly obvious. Like to get to consensus and votes, there's just so much redundant information you're propagating. Like, why can't we multicast? It would be so nice.
Yeah.
And that is, again, if you have something like DoubleZero where you have full control over the participants and the switches and who is on those lanes, you can do multicast fairly easily.
Yeah, it's tough when an already full pipe is being filled with validator updates where everybody is getting the same update. Wing 4.
Okay.
We're getting spicier. You want to dive in? Oh,
yeah.
Out of my nose.
Yep.
We might be cutting this one short. Do you sweat in a lot of interviews, or just this one?
Just this one.
Yeah. Maybe crying in this one too. But do you think folks who interact on L2s understand the security trade-off they're making?
No, the users don't care, I think. And also, there's just also a lot of misconceptions about inheriting L1 security and what that means. So just even like if you parse that statement, this thing inherits L1 security, it means that all the things that are define the properties of security, all of those are encoded in the L1. So
hit with some heat with this.
So everything about what makes something an L2 is defined in the bridge contract that is on the L1. Because if it was defined somewhere else, then you can't say that that L2 inherits security of the L1, because now there's some property that is relevant to security that is not defined in that bridge contract.
Yeah.
Very, very kind of like, if you think about it,
Yeah.
everything what makes an L2 is just a bridge contract in the L1. Nothing about the bridge secures assets that are native to the L2 itself.
Fair.
That is, what that means is that you can actually write this bridge on Solana. You can build an Ethereum bridge contract and make Ethereum an L2 of Solana.
Right.
By taking all the data that's on Ethereum, putting it on Solana, the state root and the proof, and a thing that would detect that exits are being blocked or censored, and then a way to take over that sequencer and update the state root locally and allow people to exit. So all of these properties are strictly defined by whatever this bridge smart contract. So you can make anything an L2.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess the counter argument is, hey, there is, a conscious development mindset around speed and being able to process a lot of transactions. I'm curious to hear, like, in the deployment of Solana, you have a globally distributed validator set, but yet still the fastest chain in terms of processing transactions.
L2s should be faster, and I think there's some coming out that with higher throughput already out.
Sure.
The point is that what Solana does, and the primary use case that Solana is built for, is trading.
Sure.
And when you're trading, you need to receive all the data because you need to observe all the markets and compute the price, and to be able to submit your update right away for your orders. And
this milk might help you.
And that means that all the data has to be propagated to all these high value users. Like the core users that we think about are the traders.
Yeah.
So if a trader runs a full node, then they need to receive the full copy of the chain.
Yeah.
And that means that the system has to be consistent and available into full replication. So it has to do what a full L1 does. Like we cannot, like, we would have to break the product.
Correct.
We would have to build like a system that is no longer permissionless in that like environment for that use case. So then it's like the whole L2 argument becomes, I think, very meaningless for open permissionless DeFi. Like you still have to solve all these problems. You have to replicate the data. You have to make sure that it's replicated fairly globally at the same time to all the subscribers. Otherwise, you have an advantage. You have to make sure that when you submit transactions, nobody has an advantage.
Yeah.
So this is like, you have to build a full L1.
How you feeling after number 4?
On fire. Yeah, I'm.
You want to do number 5?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to do number 5.
All right, let's just go further down this hole together.
So this is like Russian roulette, except we know where the bullet is and we're sequentially just going towards it.
We count the ticks out. It's marked. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It starts tingly. Oh, shit. We're in trouble. Fuck. You still with us?
Yeah, it was not, the water's not going to help, but I need to drink something.
So, Toli, you left Ukraine for the U.S. as the Soviet Union was falling.
Yeah, we still had Soviet passports when we left, so it was right at the fall of the Soviet Union.
Like, as you kind of look back on the design choices you made within Solana and that kind of upbringing, is any of that part of your life reflected in the design that you had made in Solana?
I think not in the, I would say a lot of it in like, I think my CEO tendencies are actually more, carry a lot of my childhood trauma more so than.
Fair. I was thinking more like censorship resistance, but we can go there.
But on the CEO side, having that trauma that things could suddenly crash and fall apart. And I think maybe Solana's journey, like we basically had to launch right after the double black swan in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's just like things do collapse. Like and it sucks. And you have to kind of, as a CEO, prepare. So Raj and I, always had what do we do if shit hits the fan tomorrow? Yeah. What is the core team? Who are the most important people? How much runway do we have?
Yeah.
If we had to cut.
The bags were pre-packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think having that mentality, I think is good to do that exercise. I think Paul Graham has written a couple essays about this.
Beard is tingling.
Yeah.
You say this.
Yeah. My mouth is just numb and on fire at the same time.
Well, this was awesome. I appreciate you taking this journey with me. Any last hot takes?
Yeah, I think my hottest take is that I think trading is the most important use case for public permissionless blockchains. I think to build a bunker coin, you actually do need value accrual. And I think at some point, people have to think about what happens to Bitcoin if it never has it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What happens to Ethereum if it can never capture L2? The value capture that L2 has never propagates to Ethereum L1. I think those are real problems. You don't want your nation state, your digital nation state to run out of money, run out of value.
Or leak economics south of the border.
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
We'll do this spicy journey again.
Yeah, this is fun.